What's going on the Copywriting Call podcast? It's your boy Loso 2.0, the copy god himself. Today, we're going to continue to finish on Jacob, right? So I know before we kind of left off about Jacob and stuff like that, I kind of told you guys about the story of Jacob and Esau. Woo, we got about 2 more sections to go. Okay, let me just get started, right? It says an explanation of Genesis 28:10-22 is as follows. Jacob, remember, he represents the mental. He's the mental part of us. And he went toward Haran, which is a high place. So he was able to take his your mental level to a higher place, to a higher level. And this is when the mind enters a higher state of consciousness. That's really all it is. When he goes to Haran, that's what he's doing. You're taking your mental part to a higher level of consciousness. That's when you're studying. That's when you're reading. You're doing anything you do to improve yourself. The ladder represents step-by-step realizations of truth. Every step that he takes up on the ladder is allowing him to go to the next level, to the next level, to the next level, to the next level. Remember, it's all about getting 1% better each and every single day of your life. So 1% better, 2%, 3%, 4%, all the way up to 100% better, and keep going after that, right? It says, oh man, I skipped one, my fault. It says at a certain place in consciousness, the understanding is unillumined at a certain place in consciousness. Oh, okay, so down low, deep down low, where you might think of as hell, but it's not. There's a certain part where your mind is not like enlightened, right? You just don't know. You just don't know what you don't know, right? And it says one of the stones of the place that Jacob put under his head represent this contact of understanding with material conditions. So like I said, remember, your mind, and you need the mind and the body. You need the Esau and the Jacob. You need both of them in order to be successful. That's what polarity is. They're one and the same, but something else I forgot. Mentor Tink keeps telling me this. I know. Listen, if you listen to this, Tink, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting the thing that he's saying. But listen, it's literally understanding that physical and that mental have to be merged together. That's just really what it is. You have to understand it too. But like now it goes to the latter thing that he was talking about. Then he says, these thoughts, angels of God, pure thoughts, by the way. That's what angels are. Angels are just your pure thoughts. Ascend in descending consciousness. So your pure thoughts are going to go up and they're going to go down. Remember, I was just actually talking about this. Remember, I told you guys in my last couple episodes that like yesterday was one of my worst days. Look, listen, 9/22/22 was one of my worst days so far. At this job, it was depressing because it was like so many things were happening all at once, and it's like, boom, someone gets sick. Boom, someone gets is putting their 2 weeks in. A third person this week putting their 2 weeks in. Third person this week putting 2 weeks in. It's like, yo, what the heck is going on? Everybody's just leaving pretty much. At the same time, getting people in as fast as possible, but people are leaving just as fast, right? So it's like, yo, how can I get this done? Boom, this no, I'm gonna figure it out, right? So that's the first thing, right? Now, what does it says? Jehovah, the I am, verses 13 and 14, occupies the highest place in consciousness. So, God is the highest place in consciousness. The spiritualized thoughts of the mind become the seed and the bless all the earth, body consciousness. So it says, your spiritualized thoughts or you thinking on a higher mental level will always bless your body, right? Remember, the mind you train first, then it goes outwards. The mind comes the body. Remember, everything that we have right now, everything that I'm looking at right now was once a thought. It all starts within or eastward. It started as a thought or an idea, and now it came out to something physical right now that you're looking at. So it says, the Lord is constantly in our midst, and we must eventually come into divine consciousness. So every day we have to constantly work ourselves to get back to thinking on a higher level than we're thinking right now. Remember, again, keep improving yourself. Every single day is about improving yourself 1% better than you were yesterday. By the time you look back, you're 365% better, and 365% better in 1 year. You achieve what people achieve in 3 and 4 years. That's really what it is. The mind is startled when it discovers God to be an omnipresent principle. So it's when you start to lack faith, right? Pretty much, right? When you lack faith, you're going to start to feel a little startled because you're like, yo, is this happening? Because I don't physically see it. And naturally, that's what you want. You want to physically see everything, especially right now in the level when we're at right now, where everything has to be so immediate. So you start to you start to get scared when you just don't physically see it. And you start to think, oh, am I doing the right thing? You start to question yourself. But remember this, right? Everything started as an idea. Everything started within. So you're not going to see it just yet, but it's going to show itself eventually as you keep growing and doing your thing, right? So it says in verse 17 is represented the realization that the body, which is the house, is the temple of God, and that the mind is the gate to heaven or harmony. So your body is your temple, right? Remember, it says work to the temple, stuff like that. And then your mind is the gate to heaven, and that's harmony. And heaven is just, when your mind, body, and spirit are all in connection. It's not a place. It is literally a kind of like a state of being, right? So it says, in the light of understanding the morning, verse 18, the things that have been our stepping stones become holy, and we anoint them with oil, love, joy, and gladness. So the things that helped us get to the next level, we constantly give them love, joy, gladness. The people that help us get to the next level, every single person helped me to get to where I'm at. And I feel like they're just another step on the ladder, right? Just example with AT&T, right? So first I had my first boss who was quitting in the first 2 weeks, said he hated the company, this, that, and the third. Yeah, he hated his life, whatever. Boom, he quits in the first 2. He was already put his 2 weeks in, so he was quitting as I was starting. So then they put me in there, okay? Then they put a new manager into basically where I was at, and he becomes the manager of, Christiana. Then he really didn't really teach me that much at first, right? He was a new manager learning. I was a new rep, didn't know anything. 6 months went by, didn't really learn anything, right? But then we hired another manager in there. She comes in there, she shows me a play that helps me make more money. And then my boss at the same time, well, not my boss, a new RSM comes in too as well, who his name is Patrick Todros. He taught me basically sales a lot too as well. Boom, 2 more people in my stepping stone. Then after that, we get a new district manager who teaches me kind of stuff about professionalism, how to be a good district manager, that's that, and a third. Boom, another level goes up. I make it to another level. And it's just like I keep going up. Each person is another stepping stone, another parts of the ladder. And I'm going up and up and up and up and up. And then, all these people are just stepping stones, right? And then, now I'm where I'm at now. Now, I got Rob teaching me things. Or my boss, teaching me things. I got, still my peers teaching me things, my old peers. Like every person that you meet is another stepping stone to, help you be better, right? You have to keep anointing them with love, joy, and gladness, right? And it says Bethel signifies house of God. Luz means separation. Isn't that the truth, right? If you work at AT&T, you know what I'm talking about. It says that which has seemed separate and apart is brought into unity. So things that are separated or seem different, they come together. Remember, even like the polarity, right? Like I said, there's the evil, there's a little devil on the shoulder, a little heaven on the shoulder. They're both Udo. Yeah, it's all going to come together. And then it says verse 20 to 22 represent the first attempt of the enlightened mind to covenant with God and trust spirit for all things. You have to have trust. You have to have a level of skepticism, 100%. Even in the Bible in Matthew, I think Jesus was kind of talking about that a little bit. He was talking about the idea that you have to be skeptical because there's going to be people that are false God, false prophets and stuff like that. But at the end of the day too, you also have to have trust in your spirit, trust in yourself that you will get the job done, right? You made a covenant with the Most High. You made an agreement. So if you made an agreement with yourself, you have to trust it. I'm going to be a millionaire, right? And I'm going to be the greatest speaker ever to do it. The greatest copywriter ever to do it. When I say those things in the morning, I'm making an agreement with myself. And when I make a agreement with myself, I have no choice but to fall through with it. And it says, keep the law of giving and receiving is recognized as a step in spiritual development, right? You keep giving and giving and giving. You keep overflowing your cup, or you keep, getting information, getting knowledge, wisdom. It overflows. You continue to give it to other people like I do in these videos. And then you start to receive stuff like I talked about before, just giving out all this content, giving people a spotlight and stuff in their entrepreneurial journey have led to sales for me, led to people also following my page, me also helping more people and more opportunities presenting themselves, right? So that's where I'm gonna stop with Jacob now. We still got another section to finish off with him, man. definitely a lot of stuff. It's definitely a lot of stuff, a lot of work, but it's all worth it in the end, man. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share this channel. More than anything, the second thing is if you're listening to this on any type of podcast, Spotify, Apple, whatever's going on, 5-star and leave a review. We like to, look over the reviews and everything. So I want you guys to keep killing the day, and just remember, more than anything, you pray for success like this. Copy, got out.